And we are live. Welcome to NBA Live Before Lock, Thursday, December 4th. Wild slate ahead of us. Lots of weird stuff to talk about. And we got news the moment we went live in typical Live Before Lock fashion. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow us both on Twitter, us both being me, Josh Engleman, and him, Eric Lindquist. What's going on, buddy? Nurkic out.
Nurkic out. Big piece of news right from the get-go, so we have to reshuffle the deck. It's almost like there was a deeper dive before this, and then all of a sudden we're on Live Before Lock, because those are the kind of things that happen here. You join.
It's Shibwe season, baby.
No, this is going to be absolutely ridiculous. I'm not looking forward to saying anything about Shibwe because he could play 2 rotations. Like, that's a live thing to happen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we'll get to that part in a bit. We've got bigger fish to fry to start because we've got a lot of injury news today for the Lakers. Well, technically, this isn't injury news, but Luka Doncic isn't playing today. Birth of his second child. Didn't know he had the first one ever, but whatever. Not something I pay attention to. Either way, Luka is out. Jaylen Brown is also out for Boston, which is giving us 75% owned Austin Reaves, 60% owned Peyton Pritchard, 60% owned Derek White, a bunch of ownership to Kada and Hauser, to LeBron and Anthony Simons. Whether it's Boston or the Lakers, whichever team you want to start with, how you feeling about these guys? Any negatives, any positives? Just the floor is yours.
Austin Reaves, we've watched LeBron James play basketball. Like, one thing I've realized very much so in the last week and a half is people who bet and people who play DFS don't actually watch basketball. Like, is that a fair statement? Like, you don't have to all the time, but like, I swear to God, LeBron has looked like a corpse for 2 weeks and nobody had talked about it until he had the absolute dud. He ended up getting to 10 points. So shout out JJ Redick for keeping LeBron out on the floor in the fourth quarter. I tweeted something where I'm like, oh, the first true coaching test for JJ Redick coming up right now. And of course he gets to 10 anyway, but Austin Reaves looks really, really good. Without Luka Doncic on the floor, the numbers are just borderline asinine. And if we dock LeBron for who he is right now, as opposed to who he's been, I think he's the best play on the slate. There's no question about it. Like, Austin Reaves, I'm playing 100% of. There's not a single lineup I'm rolling out today that I'm not playing Austin Reaves in. So like 25% of the field, they can go ahead and pay the rake. That's fine. It's probably going to be 65% because we've seen this how many times now this season where somebody's projected for 75%, they come in 65. I get it. Austin Reaves is still like popular white chocolate when you don't have Luka out there, but like, I don't give a shit. Shooting guard, you get it covered. Derek White is there in point guard, shooting guard, I suppose, but like Austin Reaves, between positionality, between no Luka, between everything, there's just not a planet where I don't play him. I guess for me, I want to ask you about Kada because Nick Claxton's been playing a boatload of minutes. And I tweeted this out yesterday. I did Duke's Nukes, which by the way hit yesterday. Shout out me. But I look at back-to-backs and the amount of minutes this guy's been playing. And I bet Day'Ron Sharp, he was like close to, it was like the equivalent of plus 1950 for a double-double. Eventually we're going to see the minutes come down on him, but like, from a DFS perspective, only a quarter of people are going to play him without Michael Porter Jr. on the floor. He doesn't take a usage bump, but rebounding opportunity, assist opportunity, everything looks so much better for Nicholas Claxton on the other side of the box score that, like, if he continues to play 34, 35 minutes and you're just getting 13, 14 minutes of Day'Ron Sharp, I like him way more than I like Neemias Queta, like by an absolute country mile. So, like, I have 2 lineups out of my top 150 with Neemias Queta. I'm going to play 50 when it's all said and done, playing like the $1, $4 and put a couple in the main. But like, I hate Queta today. I'm actively cheering very, very hard against Neemias Queta.
Okay. A lot to break down for me there because I don't hate Queta.
I do.
And I'm not fond of Clax today.
Oh, wow.
As much as I was. Yeah. I don't think it helps Nick Claxton to have worse players around him because he's not a guy that can get it for himself.
Correct.
And the when it gets worse out there, when you don't have someone like Michael Porter Jr. that everybody pays attention to and maintains spacing, I actually think that gets worse for Nick Claxton. Now, like, I'm clearly going to have him. This is a matchup against Utah and either Kyle Filipowski or Oscar Tshiebwe. So I want to be cognizant of the fact that, like, there are some positives. And I had a ton of Nick Claxton yesterday. I had 50% of them. It's one of the few things that I actually got right. I'm just willing to eat that ownership on Neemias Queta because that's what happens when you face the Wizards. Like, it's Marvin Bagley and whatever other like I'd like to just have them both. I'll tell you the one thing that scares me, and that's Danny Wolf, but we could have that conversation. It's value, so that's a different conversation.
My favorite non-center. Well, you play him at power forward. I'm just kind of looking at my lineups and like,
yeah,
I have so much of him.
Yeah, like, I'm just permanently scared of anybody on Brooklyn because I just have zero trust in all of what they do. Claxton in 200 minutes without MPJ and Cam Thomas this year, 0.72 DraftKings fantasy points per minute. Now, I don't think he's going to be that guy either, but I am a little nervous. That said, Utah does bring out the best in most people, so
Utah tends to do that, and they're also 5-point favorites, which is hilarious to me. Like, what a funny game we play when we're paying attention to this. It's just Michael Porter Jr. is only worth a point. Is that true? Like, Michael Porter Jr. went from 4 to 5. Is he only worth a point?
Well, there's also the assumption that it was already baked into the line. You know, if 50% of that is we already assume he's sitting, then it doesn't move as much. But, you know, realistically, they're all just shit.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you've hit on, though, so far, I'm with you. Like, I love Austin Reaves. He's going to be in what I would imagine to be just about everything. The role's too good. The price is too low.
Yep.
I don't have an issue getting to LeBron at 8,500 for power forward at 25% ownership. He's going to try to do more. We'll see what that looks like. Then we get to the Boston guys at the top. And I don't have a single problem getting to Pritchard or White. I prefer White. But these guys are just going to let it sail. And they play the worst team in basketball. Like, not having your number one creator and number two creator available for this game, I think Derek White and Peyton Pritchard can deputize those roles pretty well against Washington. Hence them being 9.5-point favorites still starting this game with maybe Sam Hauser, Jordan Walsh, Neemias Queta. Like, that's how bad Washington is. So I'm going to be doing the White thing. I'm going to be doing the Pritchard thing. How do you feel about Sam Hauser here today at 3,900? You just talked about liking Danny Wolf at 3,900. Do you like Hauser the same way?
I kind of like Hauser the same way. I mean, Hauser did not shoot the ball well to start off this season. He looked pretty awful overall. And then there's been sometimes it's a good thing internally within your team to have somebody like Shireman just push you. And like, Shireman's been knocking down an egregious amount of shots. And then all of a sudden, we just have this opportunity. Sorry, my dog just walked in here now too. Do you enjoy the snow?
All good.
Good.
He's coming. He's showing up right now to talk some shit about hitting his bets yesterday.
He is. He was awesome on the old bet train. Bark. Yeah, Ryan Nemhart. Bark. But yeah, I definitely think Sam Hauser 3,900. He's still, that's the priority guy. We have a 5-year sample size of this guy knocking down threes at a ridiculous clip. The Celtics have talked forever about how much they love him and his integration into the team and how valuable he is to the team. And he's sub 4K against Washington without Jaylen Brown on the floor. You're going to get Peyton Pritchard and Derek White creating for him. 5.5 assists, 6.5 assists, the lines on each of them, respectively. You're going to have both of those guys chucking, but like, this is the spot where you can give 30+ minutes to Sam Hauser and not really give a flying you-know-what about it. Like, I think the interesting thing for me is some of the ancillary pieces of Boston where, I mean, Jordan Walsh is an ancillary considering he's starting and has like a 13.5 rebound plus assist prop. And I kept staring at that all day today being like, is this real? Is this actually a real thing? And then I ran it and it's efficient. That made more like no sense, but like, we're playing a short slate as is. So I'm already looking for like these ancillary guys, these guys who could come from the clouds. I think Baylor Shireman can be that guy, but like, I think Sam Hauser is the more reliable piece. The Sims like him. He's showing up in my lineups. I don't really want to question it too much.
Baylor Shireman, 3,200, shooting guard, small forward eligible, 1% owned.
I know. And
It's interesting. I agree. I kind of feel the same way about Josh Minot. Not that I think that he's any good, but like as a value guy that's not getting any ownership.
Yeah. I mean, we saw him with the Timberwolves. I brought him up. I was like, I can't believe this guy's getting doubles now to start off the season. Guess what? That went away. Jordan Walsh is the bigger body, the better player overall. He was the more touted high school player as well. There's just not a lot about Josh Minot.
Kuminga in.
Who is?
Kuminga in, Horford in.
That's annoying. I was hoping we'd get one of them out before we talk Golden State. But yeah, overall, This is an interesting team just because it's Washington. They're gigantic favorites. It's a maintenance day for Jaylen Brown. Like that's what this is. And you're still getting them as double-digit road favorites. So like, if you're looking for tournament plays to kind of like swap into something, that's where I bring up Baylor Shireman, because we've seen him walk into massive minutes. And I guess this is probably your concern with Danny Wolf, is the same thing that happened yesterday. He closed 16 minutes. He played the last 16 minutes of the damn basketball game. And now everybody's running to the window to play him. But what happens when that first rotation doesn't go as well? What happens when it doesn't click? And so that's where I get what you're saying. For me, it's a positional thing where I look at power forward and I get my savings there and I feel a little bit better about it. But I think that's kind of your logic going towards him. It's kind of the same way that I look at everything else, where it's like, oh, what happens when the other shoe drops? And then you're just left holding 40% of nothing.
Yeah, like obviously on a point per dollar basis, he looks great. 34% boom rate. Not surprised to see it. We don't have a ton of good value here. I'm going to end up having him, obviously, but he's the guy that scares me the most because it could just be anybody for Brooklyn. I wouldn't be surprised if Zaire Williams becomes a guy, the Igor Demon, Terrence Mann, Tyrese Martin. And I probably don't want to go all the way down to like Ben Suraf and Jalen Williams, but like the point stands that like Brooklyn's just awful. They're missing their best player. They're missing their second best player, and their third best player is the center. And after that, it's just a sea of fourth guys that should be 13th guys. So I'm at least a little nervous. I think guys like Wolf, Zaire Williams, Mann, Martin, those are guys that I would want to like increase the variance on in the Sims. Just way wider range of outcomes today than like one raw number.
So somebody in my Discord asked me actually this morning about it, and I completely forgot because, again, I had an 18-hour drive yesterday, which is why I look like Pee Wee Herman, it would appear. But I also...
What's the word of the day?
Go. But I tell people what you're doing with the variance in the Sims, because he literally said that you brought it up on a show yesterday, I believe. And obviously I wasn't on the show. I wasn't watching anything until, I turned on Spags and the Mo Gay news came out, and then everybody in chat went nuts and said Eric's favorite player. But also, I want to know what you do in order to utilize the variance in the Sims, because this is more informative and helpful to people to like teach them to fish rather than just be like, here are the plays, here's the nuke.
Yeah, I'm pulling up a sim now so I could actually show it on the screen. Otherwise, this would be super boring. So once this finishes generating, I'll be able to talk through it a little bit more. But on the next step, after you generate your contest in the Sims and you get to the point where you're looking at the projections, we have a variance column over here. So in this situation, I would probably filter down to Brooklyn or just specific players, depending on however you wanted to handle that. And I would just think about stupid Brooklyn acronym. Like Claxton, to me, not a guy that I'm worried about, or Clowney. Like their roles are pretty defined for the team, but like whether it's the Igor Demon, Wolf, Mann, Martin, Zaire Williams, I probably want to bump up their variance a little bit, either one notch, maybe two, just spread out their range of outcomes.
Yes.
Because these guys realistically could be all projected for 20 minutes, but play anywhere from 10 to 28. And I want to, like, for this specific matchup, I want to widen that a little bit. So some of these guys are popping in a little bit more. It's like using more randomness on the single lineup sim to fill out the rest of your lineup. I want to just move those guys around in a little bit more of an extreme way. Claxton and Clowney, I don't like, they're already just going to play 30 minutes and be those guys. But the rest of these dudes have a lot of range, and I want to widen that a bit. So that's what I would do in the Sims. That's what I will do tonight, or while I guess I will do while we're on this show.
Yeah. Well, I tried to explain it to him like this. I said, go to the boom bust tool, which is right there. And the thing we never talk about is the standard deviation. So like in statistics, you have 68, 95, 99.7. That is basically dead center where you've got your 50th percentile outcome. You go one standard deviation to each side. That's 68% of the total data, 95% of the total data, 99.7. So yeah, 65 or 68, 95, 99.7. So overall, I feel pretty good about the process I've had with the variance button as far as like plugging it in, but I don't know if I've ever talked about it on a show. And it was weird to get asked that question in the context of like, okay, my brain does this stuff because I've been doing this so long and I kind of forget that it's something that you should explain from time to time. But like, really, it's just simply saying, all right, this guy could put up 10, he could put up 40. And you don't want it to be something that you're putting the emphasis of like a million suns saying he's going to fall within this tight range of outcomes and not have him show up in some strange lineups, not have him show up in some very chalky lineups, have it be a nice blend. And so it's really trying to like blend your lineups to be the best set for that particular slate on that particular day with what you know about the other players playing.
Perfectly said. So if anybody was curious about how that operation works in the Sims, now you know.
There you go.
So Lakers, Boston, Boston, Boston. Oh, sorry, we're not sorted by ownership any longer because I refreshed. Lakers, Boston, Boston, Brooklyn, Boston, Brooklyn, Boston. And then we get to our first Utah guy. And in this case, we're seeing Kyle Filipowski, 25% owned, power forward, center eligible. Right now we have 6% ownership. Yes. Right now we have 6% ownership coming into flat 3K Oscar Tshiebwe. Now, technically, we don't know the answer. There are murmurings that Tshiebwe is going to be the starter today. Kyle Filipowski is clearly going to be playing one way or the other. How are you feeling about Filipowski here? Because for me right now, I don't want any bit of this Jazz starting lineup until lock. Because if that's going to artificially keep Filipowski down, I like him whether he starts or not. And if he starts, then I just get to like him more. But he's a good play either way today.
I like him more off the bench. I don't want him to start. I don't want people to get the Kyle Filipowski piece with multi-positional like eligibility. I don't want him power forward center. I don't want people having that piece as a starter. I would rather have it be Tshiebwe because do you know how many minutes Tshiebwe's played this season? Like, do you know?
Guessing 0. He hasn't played in the last 10 games. Correct. I can tell you that.
0. I talked about him for like 2.8 seconds today on NBA Lindy's where I was just like, this is the thing that could happen if Nurkic is out. I don't love it. He's been a good fantasy producer in the past. I really think this could be a first rotation of the first quarter, first rotation of the third quarter done. Like that could legitimately be what it is. Also, it's Brooklyn, but they're favorites. They're favorites. That's the part that makes this so hard for me is like, normally I'd be like, all right, well, you could get Tshiebwe blowout run, then you'd feel really stupid because he started, he gets blowout run, whatever, because they don't care. But like, I don't know what to make of this. And I'm inclined to think that if we get Tshiebwe starting, he's going to become like the most popular player on the slate. Maybe not, you probably won't beat Reaves, but like 3K Oscar Tshiebwe, he's a good fantasy producer. He's already projected for 18. Get ready for that to increase. If he for sure, I mean, we're the highest in the industry on him right now too, for what it's worth. And we only have him at 6%. Like, do you not think he could get steamed up in a massive, massive way?
If he's named the starter for sure. Let's see. Yeah, I have basically the exact same projection, but yeah, like if he gets named the starter, I don't think it's going to go crazy because he's just never going to have that kind of minutes projection. But yeah, I mean, it's not going to be 6.5. That's for sure.
Yep. And I'm mad at our Sims because our Sims are dead on my favorite player on Utah, Kyle Anderson. This is such a Kyle Anderson smash spot. It is.
Don't get me started. I love him.
He's my favorite play on the team other than Kyle Filipowski. I think I have a little bit more Kyle Filipowski, but also I've kind of gone back and forth. And then, I saw some of the info where I was like, all right, well, cool. Oscar Tshiebwe, he ends up starting sweet. But I got to tell you, I feel good about Kyle Anderson no matter what, because when he gets a team, like this to not to himself by any means, but like Lauri Markkanen comes out, Kyle Anderson comes in. What happens? Kyle Anderson creates. Kyle Anderson, slow-mo himself, he fills up a box score, and he fits in so well in lineups today. Like, you look at the Sims and the lineups that it's spitting out. He's in my top projected lineup. He's in my third top projected lineup. He's in my sixth top projected. He's in 4 of my top 10 right now. And that is under the assumption Sheway's starting. Like, I like Filipowski a little bit more because I think that the minutes can be there. I know we've got him for fewer minutes than Kyle Anderson right now, but I also am inclined to think that Kyle Anderson is somebody who, no matter what, is going underneath the radar. And at 10%, I'm not jamming, but like, he's going to be in over a third of my lineups.
Last 2 games that Kevin Love missed were the 2 most recent games that Kyle Anderson played. 25 minutes and 24 minutes. Now we don't have Nurkic, so 1 additional body out. Obviously, no Kevin Love for this one. Does he have to get anything resembling those minutes? Nope. If he gets to 20, is that very interesting? It is to me at 3,500, small forward, power forward eligible. Interested to see where this ends up because we have him 28% optimal, 10% owned. It's not going to be that, I would imagine, in the next 30 minutes. Those are going to come closer to each other in some way.
Yep.
But I'm going to have Kyle Anderson. I'm glad you shouted him out.
I just wanted to bring him up because I'm in love with him. I've got him at 20. I'm a little higher than we are right now, but yeah, go ahead.
They don't know if Luke is back for the next game for the Lakers. It doesn't matter. Well, I saw the Lakers stuff, so I started reading it, thinking it was relevant today. It's not.
Just unbelievable.
All right, let's talk about some of the pay up options that exist because we've talked about most of the slate at this point. Tyrese Maxey, the only guy above 10K. He's at 10,400, basically unowned. We only have 2 guys in the 9Ks. Ant at 9,600. Scotty Barnes at 9K. We don't even have that many guys in the 8Ks. Should we be paying up more for Tyrese Maxey, Anthony Edwards? I guess we could say Scotty Barnes, but I don't really want to. But you know what I mean. If we're going to be getting this kind of love to like Danny Wolf, where are we spending that? Why are we not getting the Tyrese Maxey today?
Why are people not playing Tyrese Maxey today? That's a great question, Josh. I don't have an answer. Yeah. I think part of it is Peyton Pritchard and Derek White's existence without Jaylen Brown against Washington, where it's just 2 guard spots that are getting eaten up a lot over and over and over again. But we just had Tyrese Maxey 65% owned on the main slate. And now nobody wants to click him for 500 more for what exact reason other than just sitting here waiting on Embiid? Like, what happens when Embiid's out? He's going to get to like 12%, and then you're going to feel like an idiot that you didn't just jam him, right? Like, this is still a spot where Tyrese Maxey, I know it's NBA Central. I don't want to go crazy about that, but like, there's the back and forth NBA Central. I couldn't tell which one it was at the time, but like, it is Tyrese Maxey's team. This is the guy who long-term is better off. He's got knees that are attached to his body that work functionally well. And I think that that's something that if you're a Philly fan, you're pretty happy about because Joel Embiid, it's been a frustrating experience. Like, I think Kawhi Leonard bodied him with 1 shot to some extent, but like, that's a conversation for a different day. But I like Tyrese Maxey at this ownership. I think it has a chance to change in a pretty prominent way, but like, does it change enough to get me off of him? Probably not. I'm going to probably be playing 15% no matter what.
Yeah, I'm just for what this slate is today, I don't think he's all that problematic to get to. The boom rate is struggle city, but like, this is not a real Golden State team today. Like, we're looking at a starting lineup of Pajemski, Will Richard, Moses Moody, Draymond Green, Quentin Post. Like, ooh, it's not,
I would say this.
They're not real.
Not real.
It's not real.
She's fun. I love my wife. She's right there. Hi. Don't mind me. Anyway, we've got ourselves an awesome opportunity, I think, also, as we kind of move down the board a little bit and take a look. Guard is interesting. Like, what happens if Peyton Pritchard, Derek White are meh and fine, and we go to Tyrese Maxey? Don't we play Anthony Simons in some of those lineups? Like, if you're kind of reverse engineering this single entry and figuring out like how you're building lineups to win tournaments, Tyrese Maxey is your spend up. go down to Anthony Simons as savings and then avoid the Derek White, Peyton Pritchard. I've thought about that a lot today.
Yeah, I don't think it's crazy at all.
I mean,
I'm interested in Matt. Like, Maxey is not cost effective, but I'm not super concerned with that right now. I think there's enough value out there, at least in like the lower mid tier.
Correct. I don't know.
I guess we should mention Scotty Barnes. Do you have any interest? Like with all that Reaves ownership, do you want a piece of Toronto on the opposite side?
He's 8% in my top 150. If I trim it down to 50 lineups, let me find out. I have 12. So he goes up a little bit, which is weird. I guess it's whatever. It could just be very random. But I look at Scotty Barnes as just fine. I think I'm just punting power forward a lot. Like, it just seems like I'm going through this. It's Danny Wolf. It's Kyle Anderson. It's a lot of these, well, small forward, a lot of Kyle Anderson, but just kind of going through this. I have a little bit more Julius Randle than I probably want, just knowing how this works, but it seems as though Julius Randle's a little underrepresented, and it looks like that in the boom bust tool as well. And what do you think about Julius Randle? Especially like, I do not believe that Ant's going to be 15%. Ant's going to be 20, 25% today, right?
It does feel like he would be a little bit higher given what we have today. And I certainly have no issue getting
king of the court.
I know who wasn't. Karl Anthony Towns. I don't mind Randall at all. 8,300. The Pelicans are garbage. It took them a little bit too long to be able to get that dub 2 days ago, but you just fully expect Minnesota to step right back in here and handle business a little bit easier. So one of them's going to handle the business, whether it's Ant or whether it's Randall. But at 8,300, 16% ownership for Randall, we've got a little bit of positive leverage. Same for Ant as well. Probably going a little bit underlooked.
Yeah, I just spent a lot of my time on Popcorn Machine this morning, and I look at Anthony Edwards as somebody that I don't believe the field is just going to gloss over. It doesn't matter the game script. It doesn't matter if they're up infinity, other than Dallas. They played Dallas. They blew Dallas out of the water. He played 29 minutes. Otherwise, he has not played fewer than 36 minutes since November 9th. Like, we're talking nearly a full calendar month. Every matchup, every game script, overtimes, blowout wins, blowout losses. You can plug Anthony Edwards in for 36 minutes. And that was part of my logic of like, hey, if I get a scoring dependent guy who's absolutely feeling himself against New Orleans and just goes and chucks and puts up 40 real points, you're probably going to want him for king of the court. Now, overtime, I thought he was maybe underrepresented. He got into the triple digits for it. But from a DFS perspective, seeing him at 15% coming off of like 60, had to have him for the winning lineup. Those always feel like the guys that I think get steamed up by the public that we don't have in our little bubble. And I don't know. If that's not the case, if you don't feel that way, I'm just going to play a lot of Ant.
I would like to get a bit of Ant. I'm hoping that happens when I start running Sims. Joel Embiid.
Who is the Washington Wizards guy in this starting lineup? What is this starting lineup?
McCollum, George, Jameer Watkins, Chris Middleton, Marvin Bagley.
Who's Jameer Watkins?
Rude.
Who is that? I don't know who that is.
I mean, he's played games already for the Wizards.
Has he?
Yeah.
I've never seen his name one time, and I do this for a living. Like, what are we doing? I don't know who Jameer Watkins is. I've never heard that name in my life.
I mean, if it helps, you shouldn't know it. But he's not new. He's not new.
What's his projection? Go ahead. Pull up Washington.
I mean, on our site, 0, yeah. I'm sure. Yeah.
His name
I had him projected for...
His name is not listed.
Yeah. He hasn't... Last time he played was 4 games ago. It was 3 minutes. Before that, it was 9. I've got him as a negative 3.2 overall. So, pretty dog shit.
I've never heard of this human being. Congratulations to him on his 30 fantasy points tonight, because what are we doing here? Why?
Yeah, he could definitely play anywhere from 8 to 38 minutes today, and I'd believe everything they said.
All right, let's. I mean, obviously, we live in an information age. So Jameer Watkins. Let's learn about Jameer
What do you
Watkins.
want to know?
The VCU Rams and the Florida State Seminoles. Awesome. Good to know.
Took
6'5",
over for Vince
210.
Williams.
I've never heard of him. Ever.
You're not supposed to.
Second round, 43rd pick. So he actually got drafted, which is weird to me that I don't know who that is, because I normally know everybody drafted, just purely because I like to look at the rookie cards and kind of like see their valuation, see if I need to snipe a couple. Obviously, I wish I had more Ryan Nembhard. That would be great. But who's Jameer Watkins? I'll ask it again.
Who does number 2 work for?
That's exactly it. It's honestly more memorable than Jameer Watkins at Florida State, it would appear.
So I can't imagine he matters in any way, but he's at least a value name you can click on. Like that wasn't the case 5 minutes ago. That's the best I could say.
He's played 12 minutes this year. He played 9 and 3 minutes. He hasn't played for like a couple weeks. What are we doing?
Let me look. I just updated him now. I don't know. I'm guessing we don't have it yet because we're probably just waiting for the rest of this.
Is this true? Too nice. He was putting up 30 plus in Summer League DFS. Where's DK DFS when we need him? I'm useless. I've never.
I'll never know. You'll never catch me watching a Summer League game.
I've been to Summer League multiple times with my father. It's a lovely experience.
Oh, I would go to Summer League, but I don't pay attention to it in any way. All right, I gave him a shitty minutes projection, and he looks shitty, but he's the flat 3K and shooting guard eligible, so the name is clickable now.
Yeah, he's a min price guy starting, but I mean, if he breaks the slate, I'm going to be so miserable. Like, that would be so miserable.
Chase Harrell hit us with a super chat a bit ago. He said, "Thanks for the Duke's nuke last night. Paid for my VIP Tails access. Let's roll it back.
Let's do it.
Tell the dog to stop licking his balls and make some picks."
He doesn't have balls, so that's tough. But also,
tell him to stop licking his taint scar.
Shit, my wife is right there.
Mm.
He's just
anyway. Make those picks, Duke. Make those picks.
He crushed it yesterday. Ryan Nembhard double. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? From the clouds, Duke, in the middle of Utah. We're just driving. He's like, you know what? We need to get Ryan Nembhard money down on underdog right now. Woof, woof.
Mooby, Taint Scar definitely does sound like a pretty good metal band.
It does. But it sounds like they're trying really hard.
We got a question from Corey Randall. What about Gary Payton Jr. today? So right now, the highest owned guy for the Warriors is 5% owned Draymond Green. Gary Payton has a 9% boom and a 0.13% ownership. I'm going to have a hard time recommending you click a single name from Golden State. If I'm going to recommend anybody, it's going to be Draymond and Pods first. I can't even begin to think about clicking on Gary Payton.
I mean, Kuminga was preemptively priced up for no Steph, no Jimmy, and then played at 7,500, played at 7K. His price has been coming down, and it's still just egregious for the role, and also the fact that Steve Kerr and his entire organization hates him. I think they would do anything, but
Pajemski, Moody, Richard, Green, Horford.
Joy. So Al Horford hated his tenure in Philly, for what it's worth. Hated it. He had 1 year there. Didn't really like Joel Embiid. There were some rumblings that they did not get along very well. He goes to Boston. They really, really, really did not get along very well. And this is probably if Joel Embiid is playing basketball tonight, I would like to stick it to Joel Embiid in some way, shape, or form. So the fact that it goes to Al Horford in a situation like this doesn't completely shock me. And again, it's not, I don't know if it's like general public knowledge that Al Horford hated his time there, but I know pretty clearly that he did, and that he hates Joel Embiid. So that's what this is. This is a pat Steve Kerr on the shoulder and say, I'm starting tonight. That's what just happened.
24 minutes?
Yeah.
Was my first guess.
Yeah, that's the first number that I think you can't put him for. Whatever minutes Joel Embiid's playing, Al Horford's out on the floor. That I can tell you. Like that's basically
Horford
what they
played
did.
27 minutes 7 games ago.
No
I think
way.
that's probably like a ceiling for today.
Yeah, I'd put him at like 24.
Obviously, he's missed 5 out of the last 6.
Yeah, because he's old. It's an old guy. Like
You're
same thing like when they're asking LeBron's question. Like it's like he's like, yeah, I'm old. I wake up. I'm sore. You feel that? It's like for me, my neck. I woke up 3 days ago and it just hurt, and I don't know why. It just no reason. I used Theragun, tried to roll it out. Nothing happens. Nothing fixes it. But these are NBA players who put their body through a lot more strenuous things than me taking Duke for a walk. So I look at Al Horford, 4,200, not all that interesting purely because it's center only. Like,
no.
I can't imagine that I'm going to get to him at 24 minutes, 25 minutes.
No, I don't get the sense that I'm going to be getting too much Al Horford here. So we got about 22 minutes to go until we get to lock. Started to get some news. Our boy Jameer Watkins getting the start for the Wiz. Al Horford getting the start for the Warriors. Welcome back, DeAnthony Melton for the Warriors. But we're still staring at 70% owned Austin Reaves, 60% owned Peyton Pritchard, 60% owned Derek White. We got the same stuff. I like it. I like this slate. I'm about to start running some stuff. I don't get the sense I'm going to love what I get.
So let's imagine Brooklyn, because obviously the show gets done in 20 minutes, and we get what we expect to be the starting lineup. And if you look at the Stokastic, we have the NBA projected page. You can look at it: Demon, Mann, Zaire Williams, Noah Clowney, Nicholas Claxton. I don't think we get Wolf in it, and no matter what, he's going to be popular. What are you planning to do there? Because you were kind of like acting trepidatious, and I was getting a lot of him before this show.
We're about to find out. I'm running it now. Let me hop back to my stuff. I'm going to assume I don't have very much of Danny Wolf. I'm not going to like that, but I think I'm way more likely to have a ton of Kyle Anderson than I am Danny Wolf. I think I'm way more likely to have more. Like, I think I'll get to Filipowski more and Kyle Anderson before I get to Wolf. But I could be wrong. His salary might just be like the thing that works.
Dude, Amon-Ra St. Brown's playing football today. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Amon-Ra St. Brown just got ruled in. You're going to want to watch NFL Live.
Why didn't he rule himself back in on Thanksgiving? Could have used that in my lineups instead of that 0.
I have such a hard decision whether or not to play T. Higgins. Like, oh God, this is a nightmare. I kind of like prepared myself for this because I have Amon-Ra on a team that I need to win week 14. And I just knew this was going to happen. And it's like, I know if I play him, he's going to play 50% of snaps and be useless. And if I don't, I'm just drawing dead. He'll put up 40. So like, you're going to want to check out NFL Live before lock. Is that going to be Laffy and Greg covering that one today? You're going to want to tune in. That's for damn sure. That's absurd.
And lucky you guys, that show comes up after this, 7:15 Eastern time, NFL Live before lock. Cowboys, Lions, Laffy and I put out a perfect lineup today. I am confident there's infinitely more content around the Stokastic streets. Check Twitter, check YouTube, but we'll be live for an hour coming up the moment this show, well, 15 minutes after the show ends, but you guys get the drill.
Yeah.
St. Brown in, That was like the whole point of my bonus perfect lineup today. The fact that he isn't.
Dude, I mean, his Jameson Williams went from like 86.5 to 83.5 to 80.5. And now I'm very curious to see what that line is when it all settles. Obviously, I can't do anything about it now, but boy, oh boy, did I not see that coming. And I don't know how you could. Wow.
No, I didn't. That's that one wasn't in the cards for me.
He's got the
admittedly, don't pay attention
blood.
As much, but
yeah, kid's got the alligator blood.
Hanging around. Just hanging around.
Check.
Splash the pot whenever the fuck I want. So great.
In life, women are the rake. They're the fucking rake. No, nobody says that. Who says that? Not me.
You know what, man? As every day of my life has gone by, it's become abundantly clear that statement was aggressively true. I assume you're not going to say the same thing. based on your current status, your wife being in the room with you right now, but mine's not, so I can speak freely.
There you are. Congratulations to you. I'm very, very happy. So there's that.
Well, also, get even happier, everybody. Get happier. It's nuke time. Ba-boom! Nuke of the night time. Lots of options. Most nuke of the nights for tonight, they're going to be able to be just dumb names. It's perfect. I have been ice cold when it comes to recommending nukes as of late. You, on the other hand, just every time feels like it's the absolute nuts. So, who you got? That's what the people want.
I'm going to make it a combo. It's the thing I've thought about.
I love combos, by the way. Pizza, so good.
Oh, yeah. Pepperoni and cheese. I didn't get to eat any of that just now. But anyway, I cannot tell you how much I think this makes sense. Tyrese Maxey, Anthony Simons. I love the idea of potentially flipping the build. Peyton Pritchard is 6,800. Derek White is 7,500. What if they put up 38-38? Do you want them at this ownership today on this slate? They're pulling an insane amount of ownership. And I feel like if I can go to the tippy top of the ceiling and I can just say they're up 30 entering a fourth quarter, or if I could potentially say shooting variance not in their favor, which has happened so many times with Boston Celtics chalks over the years that I can't even tell you. They shoot the most threes in the NBA. That's how their team is predicated. Peyton Pritchard doesn't have a good shooting night. Derek White doesn't have a good shooting night. I'm more inclined to play Derek White than Peyton Pritchard purely because of the positionality and how it all fits together. But I love Anthony Simons as a tournament pivot off of both of them. They're cheaper. He will get blowout run. He has not been playing very well in general. And then Tyrese Maxey is just forgotten with Joel Embiid out there. I get the rate diminishment. I get that he's not as good of a play as he would have been. I'm playing 100% of Austin Reaves in every single lineup. So shooting guard, I guess it doesn't matter for the Derek White portion of it, but it matters for the salary savings. Anthony Simons and Tyrese Maxey together, nukes of the night.
Anthony Simons is in 80% of my lineups right now.
Oh so my God. You and I,
Eric.
You're just holding it back. I love Anthony Simons on the slate. I think he is so underrepresented. It's ridiculous.
Not going to be my nuke, though.
Okay.
I'm going to someone less owned than that. A man who we have not said his name yet on this show. I'm positive of it.
Ooh.
I think this guy's like legit good. I think there's a case to be made that he's better than the guy ahead of him. We're not going to see that all that frequently because the ownership group of this team seems to really like that guy, but he doesn't play today. Not only does he not play today, but my guy has fantastic positional eligibility. It's not just center, it's power forward center. So Sandro Mamukelishvili, come on down. 4,500 power forward center eligible. Currently 15% owned. And there is no Jakob Poeltl to be found. Give me all the Mamu that I can get, baby.
What happens when we get Quickly, Walter, Ingram, Colin Murray, Boyles, Barnes at the 5? What happens then, Josh?
Don't care. Like him either way.
Okay.
5-game slate, Mamu, backup center type situation because he has power forward. Think it's totally fine. But if this game is competitive, it's not going to be Colin Murray Boyles finishing this game off. It's going to be Mamu. Mamu actually good. Colin Murray Boyles, just a rookie that's going to look good from time to time, but sucks right now. If this game is close, and there's no reason it shouldn't be, Mamu's the guy that's closing this game.
Mamu figured out a 3-point shot in San Antonio. Like, he figured it out. He was like one of the worst. He had a really outlier season again with Milwaukee coming off the bench. Once upon a time, I think he shot like 42%. He was broken at the tail end of Milwaukee over to San Antonio, and San Antonio basically redid his form. And now that's what he does. I mean, he's a 40% 3-point shooter. He's going to be going forward. He comes off the bench, does things like this. And the rebound rate isn't terrible. It's not great by any means, but it's not terrible. Like, if you give him starting minutes, I don't completely hate that by any means. 4,500. So he's your standover Wolf for sure.
Jakob Poeltl's missed 2 out of the last 10 games. Mm-hmm. The most recent game, they did not start Mamu. They started Jamison Battle. Battle played 11 minutes. Mamu got 27. The previous game, they just started Mamu. He just played 27. Now, I'm not saying like, oh, well, Murray Boyles was in for both of them. Murray Boyles played 22 in the Battle start. He played 17 in the Mamu start.
Interesting.
I think Mamu's just going to be out there for, let's say, at least 5 minutes more than he normally is, upwards of 7 or 8. And we've got the power forward eligibility. Isn't he more interesting than Kyle Filipowski?
Yeah. Yeah. I liked Kyle Filipowski a lot coming into this show. I like him a lot less coming out of this show, for what it's worth. There's just enough guys that they can go to. Hendrickson can pick up minutes here or there. We talked about Kyle Anderson and our love affection for him. We talked about a lot of these dudes. Like, it's just a minutes concern for me. And Kyle Filipowski has to really nuke in that time. I think if you get a starting Mamu, yeah, I think that there's probably something to be said that it's just wrong. Like, ownership's just kind of wrong.
And it could just as easily be Colin Murray Boyles, who absolutely would look a little bit better if you swap him into that starter role. I actually don't know who we have listed right now. We have Mamu listed.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, like everything that I just said, I 100% love even more so than anything else. But
wow,
if for some reason that doesn't end up happening, I just think he's underrepresented.
Okay. And again,
if he didn't have the power forward eligibility, it's a completely different question, but he does. And that is so massive.
I've bet his threes an annoying amount of times this year. I think like 3. I'm 1-2 on this, so I'm just kind of like looking through my spreadsheet, and I'm like, all right, what did I do wrong with Mamu? It would appear a lot from a DFS perspective. I can't really remember getting to him ever this year at any point. This is definitely the most interesting Mamu slate we've had probably all year. I know that he's walked himself into some nice box scores, but not really at ownership at any substantial amount that would affect you. There were times that he was chalky and then didn't start. And that was kind of an interesting talking point. But yeah, as long as he's starting today, I have no problem with like 16% Mamu being your stand. I have no problem with that. 28 minutes is very high on Joel Embiid. How many minutes do we have for Joel Embiid?
Let me look. I should get that added to the boom bust table, huh?
I would like minutes in there. I've said that once or twice in my life, but probably not recently because I've probably said other stuff that people ignored, and that's fine too.
24.5.
Yeah, that's way more like it. I had him for 24. So 28.
I mean, he played 30 last time out.
Yeah, but
what do we do with that?
When he's on the floor, Al Horford's going to be on the floor. That's not very interesting to me.
Yeah.
Al Horford hates Joel Embiid. I cannot tell you enough how much he hates that guy.
I can't say I blame him. I like our nukes. A 25% owned Anthony Simons, a 15% owned Mamu. It would be really fun if we could get to both of those guys being in a winning lineup. That would be pretty exciting.
The maxi
last time I played the 4-point play, I finished second. So let's hope I can get to first today.
There you go. That'd be lovely. I think yesterday I built my one lineup. I cashed in the $100, so I was fine with that. But like, I just played one lineup and moved on. But I look at today. Well, Atlanta, I think, just set a landmine off in everybody's life yesterday. I was like, I will bet the Clippers if I could do anything here in this moment, but I am in the middle of nowhere. So it was in the middle of Utah somewhere. I was like, yep, that's not going to happen. And they won by 30 or something. I was like, that's a bummer.
Yeah, the 75% Mo Gay that I had yesterday hurt.
Oh, yeah. That was the one guy that I was just like, all right, obviously this is scary, but there were some other guys that I thought were still pretty interesting. And once he was starting, I was like, whatever, but I played a ton of cat. It's like, yeah, but whatever. My other lineups did not do well. That is for sure.
We have a little over 7 minutes to go until we get to lock. I do want to remind you guys, if you have the opportunity, please download the Tails app. The link is in the description. If you're looking for a curated place to get your bets, your pick'em slips, parlays, DFS content, all sorts of stuff, whatever you're looking for on Tails from the sports realm, we're going to have it there. And it's growing more and more each day. You don't want to miss it. And it costs you nothing. You can just download the app for free, follow who you want for free. If you ever get to the point where you want to subscribe to someone individually, you can do that, but it is not a requirement. The only requirement I ask of you guys, if you do download the app, if you could leave a rating and potentially a review, that would help us out a ton. We're trying to get to 1,000 ratings by the time we get to Christmas. And we can't do that without you guys. So if you could help us out, that would be great.
I don't think people realize how far this can go for us. Like this app, the concept's fantastic. Everything is fantastic too. And I know we're talking a lot of data, a lot of other things, but like your post today about Flournoy, like I loved it so much that I quote tweeted it, threw it out there for the people. That's your touchdown play on FanDuel. I'm here in Colorado, so I was able to put $5 on that today. And I think it's an extremely sharp take, extremely sharp play. And in 2 seconds, I was able to have a positive EV play backed by data and somebody that you trust on a day in, day out basis on these shows. That is, it took me 20 seconds to do this. I pulled up the app. I'm like, oh, I like this a lot. Read, done, boom. Had the bet, reposted it, sent it to everybody. That's what Tails is about, is being able to like collaborate and have sharp people talking sharp skills and being able to come together. And like, it's not just that like, hey, these ratings go a long way for us to be employed and to be able to like continue to like have this company be a thing, but like it allows for us to do better as a sports betting industry. It allows for us to do better as a DFS industry, having good information in an actionable place that can be utilized. So please, please, please download Tails, check it out. It's completely free. There's no reason that you shouldn't be over there.
Everything Eric just said, I agree with, but unfortunately, I have to take this a different direction right now. Austin Reaves, Peyton Pritchard, Danny Wolf, Sam Hauser, Derek White on a technicality. Yeah. It's time for the white of the night. Here we go, folks. It is loaded at the top in ownership. Is that the direction you're going? Who will be your white of the night?
Oh, I took 2 for the nuke of the night. You best believe I'm taking 2 in this situation. 100% Austin Reaves, 100% Danny Wolf, your co-nukes of the night. What else are we doing other than clicking the ROI boost button immediately to have 100% of Danny Wolf?
Does Mamu count? Can I double up? Can I double up?
Go ahead.
It would be nice. It would be nice. I'm not going to do that. We're not going to be doubling up here. I get it. I don't blame you. For me, though, it's not Peyton Pritchard. I can't go a different direction here. I know that he's aggressive chalk. I know that he's everybody's play. I can't pick a different white of the night other than Austin Reaves today. He is it's just what it's supposed to be.
Yep. White chocolate.
I know that's not fun, but it just has to be that, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's going to carry the corpse of LeBron James on his Toronto tour to a dub. There you go. I think like I am a little surprised to see as many people wanting to be on Toronto as they are. I modeled it out to 2. So again, I'm not going to do anything about it. I suppose it's just like a no ball take. I suppose that's not as good as data, but yeah, I looked at that line long and hard and decided not to do anything about it.
We got an update like a couple minutes after I did my my actual run. So I'm updating right now. just to see what I end up with. I don't think it's going to change all that much, but got to check it out one way or the other. So
90% Danny Wolf, 100% Austin Reaves. What a time
I had 100%, or I had 95% Reaves on my last look. I am uploading right now. Once I do that, I'll go back and look at the exposures as we have 2 minutes left. Don't forget an NFL show coming up next. And hit the like button if you haven't done that yet. That helps us out a ton. All right, here we go. Just the 4-point play for today. Since we're live. Ooh, okay. Okay. I ended up with a little bit less Reaves this time. Still with the field at 70%, but not in everything. My highest owned guy right now is Sandro Mamukelashvili. So I have put my money where my mouth is.
All right.
Typically, my mouth is dirty and money is dirty, so that makes sense.
My wife is right. It's fine. It's fine. I'm at my place of employment.
Second for me, Anthony Simons.
There you go. That's my guy. 60% Anthony Simons is where I ended up at. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm kind of going through this. I still have a lot of Pritchard, a lot of White, 40% of them, but I specifically sorted out some stuff to make sure that I get some lineups that's just Simons living life by himself. Also, I guess the one other guy I wanted to ask you what happened. What did you do with Shibwe when it was all said and done? Because I got 45% of him, and I was kind of talking shit about him earlier, so I want to amend that. Wow. Sims got me on Shibwe. Center's kind of, it's not as good as what I expected it to be at this point yesterday, I suppose, and Danny Wolf's just eating up a lot of center now.
I have 10% of Oscar Shibwe right now.
Okay.
But I do have a more interesting exposure on a player that's popular today. Care to guess how much Danny Wolf I have?
20%.
That would be 20% too high. He's in nothing.
What are you doing? Why?
Look, if that's the guy that beats me, I can handle it. But yeah, obviously that's scary. I'm basically just taking Mamu instead of him.
It's not a 1-for-1 swap. They're 600 away. And also, I believe you're allowed to play both of them on DraftKings.com this evening.
You are. You are. I just didn't do that.
I was going to do that, but then I just kept living my life. You're like...
Here are my biggest stands. Mamu, Simons, Hauser, Quickly, LeBron James, Neemias Queta, Barnes, Pritchard, Jordan Walsh, and White. But a lot of Boston.
Man. So we had a wild show.
I like this slate a lot.
I don't know if I do not do now yet or not. It depends on if Neemias Queta punishes me or not. I have 0% Queta. No. Okay. I played him in the $1. I did not play him in the $4. So
the Nets will start Demon, Martin, Mann, Clowney, Claxton.
Exactly what we expected. Why was that so interesting?
I thought Zaire Williams might start. I don't think it matters.
That's right. Clowney, Claxton.
It just happened to be popped up.
They found reasons to not start Tyrese Martin. I've usually been on the they're not going to start Tyrese Martin train when people are projecting him to start, but I guess we had Zaire. A lot of people had Zaire Williams today, so that's no.
Pritchard and White both 50% owned in the 4-point play. Hauser's 35.
Simons is.
Todd's is 4. Minot is 3. Simons is. I haven't found him yet. Oh, 25.
That's
love
so
it.
Beautiful. That's so beautiful.
Lakers lineup, and then we're out of here. Reaves, Vincent, LeBron, Hachimura, and Ayton. Eric, you go have some fun. I am going to go do the same thing. You guys, go get a drink, take a leak, get back to your computer. 15 minutes, NFL live before lock. You don't want to miss it. Cowboys, Lions, Greg, and Laffy. Good luck, everybody.